It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body. Supplements that get you moving and keep you moving. That make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Well, hello. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Amy Lafitte, and I'm coming to you live here from Dallas, Texas. And my passion for health really started from a problem. I got diagnosed with a bunch of autoimmune issues when I was about 16 years old. I was missing lots of school. In fact, I missed 21 days of my senior year, and that's more than Ferris Bueller, by the way. He missed only 9. And we were looking for answers and couldn't find any in the traditional health space. This was the mid 90s when they didn't really have a lot of really great answers for us with autoimmune. And so my mom and I started studying a lot about natural health, and I was able to heal myself and go to college. And I was so excited. I was pre-med in college and ended up in a different career path, ended up actually in the direct sales space and loving what I did. I actually sold cosmetics at the time, and people would come to my cosmetics party and ask me to help them with their health problems because they were like, this girl was pre-med in college. I tried to figure this thing out. I can't. And so I've spent a lot of my life just helping people with their medical mysteries and solve a lot of their different health issues. I've now been studying health and nutrition for over 30 years. And in the process, I was able to come across 3 and have absolutely loved working with this product line. It's so innovative, the science, the technology, the leadership, and everybody that we have working here together as this global movement, as a global collective. So I'm super excited to bring on an amazing doctor tonight that's going to share a little bit more about our line and why it's so important in the health space right now. So Dr. Steven Sabo is from Florida, and him and his wife are business partners together. Her name is Gladys. He went to medical school in France for his first 3 years, which I'm super jealous of. It was a medical school in France that had been around for hundreds of years. So just imagine the cool knowledge that was learned in that building. And then he moved over to Chicago Medical School, graduated from there, and ended up in New York City. He was able to do 2 different residencies. The first was in internal medicine, and then the second was in emergency room medicine. And once he got out, he loved that so much, he continued to do that for the next 28 years in New Jersey and in New York. He's now retired from that career and works or lives in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and does 3 and also helps us a lot with our advisory board of all the science things that happen. So Dr. Sabo, we are so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. And speaking of France, don't forget about the great food out there too.
Yeah, I can only imagine all of the fun, like long dinners you guys had together.
Right.
So fun. Well, we have a new energy drink that a lot of us are getting very excited about and are seeing great results with. And I think you have a lot of experience being in the emergency room and seeing just a lot of different myriad of crazy things that kind of come through there. And I thought you might be able to give us some insight on what, like why is this new natural energy drink a big deal and is much safer for the body based on maybe some of the things you've seen previously.
Sure. And I should say, Amy and everybody, I'm excited to be here today as a member of the Scientific Advisory Board and as a former ER doctor, as Amy said, for 28 years. And excited, we're calling this the ER Perspective, What Popular Energy Drinks Can Do to Your Body. So let me just begin by saying, as Amy said, I worked in the ER for 28 years. I've seen what energy drinks can do when things go wrong. You know, energy drinks themselves, they're marketed as harmless boosts of energy, but many people don't realize there really are a lot of real risks. And what I'd like to talk about briefly today is sharing with you some of the experiences that I've seen in the ER so that we can all hopefully make safer choices. And at the end, we're going to give you one safer choice. So first, let me ask you all, do you know what's actually in an energy drink? Of course, it's got high doses of caffeine. Many times it's more than a strong cup of coffee. It can have additives such as taurine, B vitamins, sugar, which can multiply the effects of the product, can have sucralose and aspartame, can have artificial food additives, and many times it's really unregulated and it's not really clearly labeled. So why do people actually, or how can people end up in the ER after taking an energy drink? So there's a few different conditions that people can get from this, and probably the most common is heart problems. People can take this energy drink, they can get a rapid heartbeat, they can feel their heart racing, palpitations, high blood pressure, and in extreme cases, they actually can get irregular heart rates or even heart attacks, especially in young athletes. And here's a case of a 20-year-old college student who came in with a racing heart, dizziness, and chest tightness. Of course, he had finals all week. He drank 3 energy drinks in the last 6 hours to try to stay awake. When he came in, his heart rate was over 150. His electrocardiogram showed an irregular heartbeat, a rapid heartbeat. He thought he was just stressed out, but on the EKG, it showed something called an SVT, a supraventricular tachycardia. So it's not always just tachycardias. I found that that was the most common, just an elevated heart rate, but sometimes you can get these abnormal tachycardias. You can get neurologic issues. You can get seizures, anxiety, panic attacks, tremors, sleep problems, headaches, and agitation. A lot of times you see that with teens taking these drinks. And here's a case of a 17-year-old who came in with seizures after collapsing in class. She didn't sleep much the night before, so she wanted, of course, to be awake. While she was in school the next day, she took 2 energy drinks, and she actually, it turns out, had an underlying seizure disorder. And the caffeine and the taurine in the drink actually triggered a grand mal seizure. Another condition is caffeine overdose. The overdose, and the symptoms of that is nausea and vomiting, dizziness, confusion. And when you mix these drinks with other medications, it can be very dangerous. Here's the case of a 35-year-old male who drank 5 large energy drinks during a 16-hour shift, showed up in the emergency room shaking, vomiting, and confused, high blood pressure. And, you know, we don't run caffeine levels, but the caffeine level was elevated, and this person had caffeine toxicity. When you combine energy drinks plus alcohol, you can actually feel more alert, but you're still impaired. And the problem is that it can lead to risk-taking, accidents, and ER visits. Here's the case of a 22-year-old male. He came in after falling off a balcony at a party. He had mixed vodka with several cans of a popular energy drink. He wasn't slurring his speech and seemed fine, but the blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. And so keep in mind that energy drinks can actually make you feel alert while you're dangerously impaired from the alcohol. And then there's exercise in energy drinks. It can lead to heat stroke, dehydration, and even something called rhabdomyolysis, which is breakdown of the muscle. Here's the case of a 28-year-old male who goes to the gym with muscle cramps, dark urine, and confusion. Turns out he had 2 energy drinks before a 90-minute workout in the hot sun. The dark urine was due to this rhabdomyolysis, the muscle breakdown, and that can damage the kidneys. So who are the common people that actually get these bad reactions, may come to the ER? Well, people at high risk or commonly are teens before school want to stay awake, students cramming for exams, people who work shift work trying to stay awake, night shift workers like ER doctors and nurses, and police and fire, athletes who push too hard. And so the takeaway message here is don't ignore the label that may say not recommended for children or pregnant women for a reason. Don't mix these energy drinks with alcohol, and be careful if you have heart issues, anxiety, or take medications. And if you feel your heart racing or get dizzy, don't push through it, get checked out. Now, listen, I'm not here to scare you. I just want you to be aware of what we're talking about here. And a lot of these emergencies are preventable. And finally, I'd like to talk about a better alternative, and that is Kynetik, the 3 product. Now that you know the risks of typical energy drinks, let me tell you about a clean, science-backed alternative that I actually am proud to have helped introduce. It's a clean, natural energy product without the crash. It's powered by Yerba Santa. It's got 200 milligrams of clean, plant-based caffeine. It's natural caffeine, not caffeine made in a lab. It's got deep hydrating qualities, gets right into the cells, and unlike other energy drinks that dehydrate you, Kynetik actually provides hydrating electrolytes. It fuels both the body and brain at the cellular level. It's got brain-boosting nutrients, including great polyphenols and rosavins that improve focus, clarity, and resilience under stress. There's no brain fog, there's no jitters, and no afternoon crash. It's free of harmful additives that are found in lots of other drinks out there. There's no taurine, which has been linked in a recent study to leukemia. No sucralose, which can cause gut inflammation. There's no aspartame, which is associated with cancer risk. And there's no sugar, dyes, or artificial flavors, just clean ingredients. And finally, it's backed by science and integrity, formulated by doctors and third-party tested for heavy metals, pesticides, and contaminants. Again, as a physician with 28 years in the ER, I've seen what harmful energy products can do. And I joined the scientific advisory board of 3 because we're doing it differently. Kynetik, it's not just another product. It's part of a movement towards proactive wellness that respects the body. Back to you, Amy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Sabo. That was amazing. And just kind of hearing those testimonies about, what some people have, experienced, I think is really, really powerful. And I know even just on like a lighter note, my husband has really been enjoying our new energy drink. And he just told me today, he said, I've now kicked coffee and I've kicked other energy drinks to the curb. He's like, I'm only using this now. And he's actually using less of like caffeine. He used to would sometimes would drink like 5 cups of coffee a day. He's now just drinking 1 stick of Kynetik, which is literally putting his caffeine levels in half. But because of all the brain boosting properties and everything else, it's making him feel more alert, giving him energy all day long. And his favorite thing is he said it really puts him in a good mood. So, having more than just even the energy, I think is really, really powerful. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, and we have some amazing testimonials here of 3 different people from the medical profession in different ways. And I'd love for them to be able to come on and share. They may not share specifically about Kynetik, but they may be talking about some of the other products that we have in our line as well as what we have done. So I'm going to start here with Erin, and I want to give her proper invite, okay, so Erin Quinn has joined 3 in our pre-launch of April of 2023. She is a wife and a mom of 3 beautiful kids. She has earned her doctorate in pharmacy from the University of Florida and worked at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital for the past 7 years. She's passionate about proactive wellness and loves helping others. So, Erin, if you want to come off mute and just share, what this has done for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Amy. Um, so first, I just want to start out by saying, just piggybacking on the Kynetik, I'll just start there. One thing that I've been really concerned about is clean products, and I love coffee. I'm a busy mom, and I've always been really concerned about the pesticides and the mold and all the things in coffee, but finding even clean coffee can be very hard and very expensive. So when I learned about Kynetik at convention, I was just so excited, and I have loved the product as well. Just like your husband, I've been trying to completely, maybe not completely get off coffee because I do love the taste, but I'm definitely enjoying the Kynetik, and I've cut back a lot on my coffee. So I just want to start there. But what I really wanted to talk about was more so why I was so impressed with our entire product line. I feel like, healthcare, from what I've experienced here in America, sometimes it feels more like sick care. It feels very reactive. It feels like, things are happening once people are already sick. And as a pharmacist, I felt like, we're giving these prescriptions and we're trying to help people feel better, but we've waited until the point where they're already not in the best of health. So when I learned about 3, I was just so excited for something more proactive. That's something that really aligns with me. And just having super clean products, because a lot of the vitamins out there just aren't, and there's not a lot of scientific backing behind them. So one of the things that I always struggled with when I worked retail is a very common question as a pharmacist is, what vitamin should I buy? And they're walking the aisles. And I just never really had a great line that I fully believed in, to be honest. It was very hard for me to kind of find one that I trusted. So, when I learned about 3 in general and I learned how clean our products are, that was so impressive. And then to learn about our delivery systems and the way that they get into the cells, on that high level, that is just kind of the thing as a pharmacist that it was the kicker for me. So I just knew that these products were going to have a massive impact on the way people feel, and it was going to be something that they felt pretty quickly. So honestly, it was kind of the whole package. It's not just one product. I think that the entire line, being third-party tested, doing all of these clinical studies, and just going above and beyond as a healthcare practitioner and a pharmacist specifically, it just really blew me away. So it was something that I really wanted to partner with and hopefully help impact people on a more proactive level.
So awesome. And it's already been such a huge success, and you've been able to help so many different people, both physically and I know also on the business side as well.
Yeah,
So I'm so excited. Thank you, Erin. That was amazing.
thanks.
Amy,
And yeah,
Erin brings up a good point. It's unfortunate that we do have a sick care system here in the country, and being on the forefront in the ER, I certainly agree with you there. And so isn't it exciting, Amy, that we have these proactive health, proactive wellness products that we can try to help people earlier?
I totally agree with you. I think it's such a huge difference, and people are starting to look for proactive options as well. I feel like I don't know if you've seen that, but I've definitely seen that over the last couple years. So,
Mhm.
right place, right time.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we have Lisa, and she is from Florida. And Lisa initially started her career in education as a national board certified elementary educator and eventually transitioned into healthcare, earning a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and now is a registered nurse and a proud member of the Holistic Nurses Association. She's very passionate about being able to help others improve their well being through nutrition, lifestyle, and proactive wellness. So, Lisa, we're excited to bring you on and for you to share.
Well, thank you, Amy. I appreciate everyone having me here. I truly do believe in these products, and a lot of it stems from my own testimony. And when I got into nursing, the first thing I did was join the Holistic Nurses Association. And that was for that very reason, because I knew medicine had its place, but I also knew that we wanted to serve people at a level where there was better health in natural resources. And that's where I found I aligned really strongly with three is, well, first of all, for my own sake, I was going back to school to become a nurse, but yet I struggled with my own health. And for 18 years, I mean, my blood work was specifically, out of whack all over the place. And I just worked with my doctors trying to get my medications and my dosages in check, but they just weren't balancing. My energy was all over the place. I never felt stable.
Mhm.
And then when I found and started taking these products, I really did notice a difference almost immediately. And then over time, I realized that these products were keeping me consistent, were keeping my blood work within the normal range. It was the first time I felt my energy came back. My brain fog lifted, and even my skin reflected how good my health was doing. It was healthy and vibrant. And I know all of that is because I was truly absorbing what I was taking. It was not only giving me the vitamins on a basic level, but I was truly getting them. And that was because the science. So I experienced this firsthand. And because of the science and what I've seen them do for me, but also for so many others, that I believed in this so confidently that I had to start sharing it with others. And with that, I built a generous side business, and it aligned perfectly with my values. It allowed me to help others feel their best too. And that was every reason why I got into nursing, was to help people feel better. And um, most recently, this new product, I started swapping out my coffee, because what I learned about coffee is that it's not always the cleanest. It's not it has mold and other things that can be found in the coffee beans. And so when I started using this new energy product, not only did I feel more hydrated, I did only take one, and it lasted throughout the day. I sipped on it throughout the day. And these last 2 weeks, I found my mood lifted, like you said, Amy, sustain energy. It gave me incredible focus. And with all of that, what it's done for my health and my finances, I'm so grateful to be able to help other people with their finances. And it's given me the ability to do that, help people both physically and financially.
I love that. I love what you said too, because I think if you're on this call and you're a sciencey type person, obviously all of us on this call absolutely adore science and got degrees in science. And so, I feel like sometimes we come at it with such a like our intellectual side, right? We're like looking at all the numbers and all the things. But what you said was, as much as you do all the research and everything, the real test is to get it in your body and feel the difference. And so that's what I always kind of suggest to people is it's one thing to do your research and feel free. You can, and you're going to find an amazing product here in Great Science. But once you do, then you can literally take this and put it in your body. And that's where you're really going to start to see the big differences. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sabo and let him introduce Dr. Brett for us tonight.
I'd like to just comment also on the science, and Lisa, I know that you found this, you both found this, but we have the two scientific studies on absorption and epigenetics, and we're in this in the physician desk reference, the prescriber's digital reference. So I'm sure Lisa, being a nurse, that's probably what started you on your journey in three was the science. And Amy, you're right. So yeah, be happy to introduce Dr. Brett. Dr. Brett is I'm going to let him tell his story. He's a chiropractor. He's a physician assistant. And I'm proud to call him a friend for, I think, more than 20 years now when we met as fans of the New York Mets baseball team in Citi Field, had seats next to each other. And Brett, it's funny how here we are, friends, 25 years later. I
Yeah,
don't know. Take it off.
25 years. Long time.
Mhm.
Yes. As Dr. Sabo said, I am a chiropractor. I have been since 1984. Unfortunately, my chiropractic career was short-lived. It lasted a little more than 8 years. And that was due to an unfortunate ambulance accident. I was a medic on an ambulance taking care of a patient, and unfortunately, we got hit head on. Um, and I sustained some very significant injuries. I've been through multiple operations, and unfortunately, the injuries prevented me and prevent me from continuing to practice chiropractic in the manner that I trained. So I went back to school and became a physician assistant, and I've been assistant in primary care now for 30 years. So I've gone from basically the complete holistic mode of treatment to, if you will, the power of the pen and the ability to write a prescription, which is not always the best way. It is, as people have already said, taking care of or trying to take care of an issue that already exists instead of being proactive and preventing it. And I tell my patients now that I come in contact with, the trend is going more towards proactive wellness and more natural, to the point where I'd venture to say that if I grab 100 people at random off the street and ask them, do you take some form of a supplement? I'd probably get 90% or better of them telling me, yes, we do. And I'll usually follow up that question with, well, do you feel any better? Or do you feel any different? And again, unfortunately, the vast majority of them, their response is no. And when I then follow up that question with, then why do you continue to take them? The usual response I get is my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my doctor, somebody told them that they should be taking it, so they do, despite the fact that they're not feeling any different. And it's not a matter of that what they're taking, in other words, ingredient wise, would not help. It's the fact that they're not absorbing a sufficient quantity to help. And that's where 3 comes in with the advanced delivery systems, with the clean products, with the third-party testing for purity as well as absorption. So backing it up just a little bit, because of my injuries, I had been living on pretty hefty narcotic pain medication and nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory medication. And they took their toll on my body. And I had to find an alternative. And fortunately, being friends with Dr. Sabo, he introduced me to the products. And I have to say, for quite some time now, I have been able to eliminate completely any form of narcotic and all nonsteroidal anti-inflammatories. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a disclaimer that I usually make, and that is, I'm not, nor is 3 making any claims that these products are going to cure, treat, or mitigate anything. And because it does what it does for me, does not guarantee it's going to do the same thing for somebody else. However, I've lost count a long time ago of the number of people that have tried the products at my suggestion and are seeing similar type benefits for various types of situations. So I'm proud to be a part of 3. I'm proud to be able to have something in my arsenal that I don't have to put a pen to a paper and write a prescription for. And I can feel confident that it'll do the job that I'm looking for it to do for somebody. And they can get better physically. And like Lisa and you have said previously, also the potential for financial improvement. So yeah, I'm thankful for 3 and what it's done for me and my family. The new Kynetik is absolutely amazing. I generally get up every morning between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm out my door by 7 o'clock. I'm seeing my first patient by 8 o'clock, and I can go through until 6 o'clock at night. And I'm not a coffee drinker. So I just, excuse me, pop a packet of the Kynetik. Literally, for me, within 10 or 15 minutes, I'm wide awake and ready to tackle my day. So that's my story, and I'll stick to it. And I'll turn it back to you, Dr. Sabo.
That's great, Amy, isn't it? Dr. Brett has similar stories that we're hearing, especially on the Kynetik here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know everybody that I've shared this with has really enjoyed this new product. And there's some of our products that you do sometimes have to take for a day or a couple of days or a couple of weeks before you feel a difference, but this is not one of those. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be 100% honest with you, I tell anybody that I speak with that in most cases, people have chronic issues, and you don't come about with a chronic issue, henceforth chronic, overnight. And to try something for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and say, oh, it didn't do anything, it doesn't work, is being unfair, not only to the product, but to yourself. So I generally tell people that to be fair to yourself, to be fair to the product, you need to give it a 2 to 3 month period of trial on it. And at the end of 2 to 3 months, if you're not feeling any different, then you're probably not going to. But just trying something for a day or two or even a week, other than, like you said, the Kynetik, that you can feel an almost instantaneous improvement, um, is a big deal. Is a big deal. Now, my main products with 3 is a product called Revive, the collagen, and the Vitalite, which is your base nutrition product. And those products, to be 100% honest with you, no, it didn't react in 10 to 15 minutes, or in a day or two, but pretty quickly you can tell the difference. And in many cases, it's when you stop the product that you really see, oh my God, what a difference it was making.
I agree with you. I've had people do that where they'll say, I don't know if it works, and then they get off of it, and then they're like, oh, now I can tell. I've seen that a lot with physicians where they'll have to remind their patients of issues that they had because they got them well and they forgot they had them, you know? So I think that definitely happens even here. That's so fun. Dr. Sabo, do you have anything that you'd like to share before we close out this call? I'd love to give you the floor.
Thank you. I want to first, and you're going to, I'm sure too, thank all of our guests, all of our testimonials who added greatly to this. Beware of the other, we'll just say, energy products out there for the reasons I talked about before. And we have an alternative. And Kynetik is helping people, and it's a great product. Back to you, Amy.
All right, awesome. Well, good. Well, I just want to thank everyone that is watching this live, or if you choose to watch this replay, and getting a chance to hear a little bit more about 3, about this community. Tonight, you got to hear from several medical professionals that are not only using these products themselves with their families, but also sharing with their patients. And that is an aspect of what we do. But we also have your everyday normal person who's not necessarily like the biggest science person or health person. I mean, the amount of people I just give them something and say, let's see if you feel better. And they do, and they don't know how any of the science works. You can absolutely be able to be a part of this. So reach out to whoever invited you onto this or shared this video with you. Get some of these supplements inside of your body so you can feel a difference. And if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body at all, like, let me just tell you, you should definitely look at this business platform. We are early, we are fresh, we are new, we are global e-commerce. There's a lot of things that are cutting edge. I've actually been in this industry for 20 years and built my entire career around this industry. And this is something really unique and different. And so definitely check into it and take a look at what we have to offer here at 3. But thank you guys so much tonight for hopping on and being a part of Wellness Wednesday. And we'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.